Costa Rica is world-renowned for its incredible avian diversity, something we have emphasized many times here on the Wildlife Brothers. Together, we have explored many different habitats in search of a staggering variety of bird species, from the common and iconic to the bizarre and overlooked. There are some species, however, that have almost single-handedly put Costa Rica on the map as a birder's paradise, and in today's episode, you are going to get to meet these incredible birds up close. These are the charismatic gems that make the rainforest such a thrill to explore, and seeing even one of them is an unforgettable experience. You will not want to miss this, so get ready to meet the veritable avian treasures of Costa Rica. The rainforest is an ecosystem that is dominated by two things: competition and communication. Animals are trying to carve out a life in their specialized niche while avoiding predation, like this white-whiskered puffbird sitting patiently in the foliage waiting for a tasty insect to fly by. This sit-and-wait tactic works well for a bird with mottled brown coloration, as it is hard for predators to detect a puffbird while it waits for prey. But what strategy can a brilliantly colored rainforest gem use to deter predators? There is one bird in Costa Rica that takes their self-defense to an amazing new level. They actually talk to their predators. Don't believe me? Well, let me introduce you to the turquoise-browed motmot. This beautiful species has earned a special nickname from locals in Central America. They call the motmot el pájaro reloj, which means clockbird. When a motmot spots a potential predator, like a boa constrictor for example, they will begin to wag their tail back and forth in the motion of a pendulum, which reminded some observers of the movement of a grandfather clock, hence clockbird. This tail-wagging behavior indicates to a predator that they have been spotted, and encourages them to give up the pursuit and look elsewhere for their lunch. This kind of dialogue between predator and prey is called a pursuit deterrent signal, and is a form of interspecific communication, or more generally, two animals of two different species directly communicating to each other. To me, that is absolutely incredible. Motmots have learned to use their gorgeous plumage to defend themselves from predators, and they are just another example of the amazing ingenuity of rainforest birds. The avian species of Costa Rica have evolved a plethora of adaptations to help them survive, but easily the most iconic are the massive beaks of the toucans. Brilliantly colored and ubiquitous in the neotropics, toucans are some of the most recognizable birds in the rainforest. Their trademark beaks serve a number of functions, the most apparent of which is, of course, the consumption of food. Toucans are primarily frugivorous, meaning that a large part of their diet is composed of fruit materials. The sharp edges of the beak can be used to tear into ripe fruits, but it also allows them to snag animal prey items such as invertebrates or lizards. The uses for this oversized beak don't end there though. It can get very hot in the rainforest, and because toucans are diurnal birds, meaning that they are active during the day, they have to bear the full effect of the tropical climate. To compensate for this, the toucan's beak is filled with blood vessels which can be manipulated to control the temperature of the bird's body. If the toucan is overheating, it can restrict blood flow to the beak to cool it off, and when it needs to warm up, it pumps blood in to radiate extra heat to the body. This has been shown to be quite efficient, and is a useful trick to keep the toucans healthy in the sweltering tropical conditions of Costa Rica. Now, there are two true toucan species native to the country, and we were lucky enough to spot some chestnut-mandibled toucans hanging out high up in a tree. However, we weren't able to get many great shots, but we really wanted to show this amazing species to you. While visiting the La Paz Wildlife Sanctuary in search of hummingbirds, the staff were kind enough to offer us the chance to see one of their resident chestnut-mandibled toucans up close and personal. This toucan was rescued after receiving a serious beak injury, and it was determined that he probably could not return to the wild. Luckily, he has been able to find a home at La Paz, where he now serves as an educational ambassador for his species. This allowed us to get some fantastic shots, much better than we could have ever gotten in the wild. This toucan was given another chance at life with La Paz, where it can live happily and educate more people about how beautiful toucans are. We don't normally film animals in captivity, and we will always disclose it when we do. but this opportunity was too unique to pass up and gave us a chance to show you one of our favorite rainforest species. It is a well-known fact that many parakeet species are incredibly intelligent and social, and their interactions with one another are both adorable to watch and fascinating to study. Parakeets communicate with a variety of squawks, chirps, and even screams. And in the case of these crimson-fronted parakeets here, they are calling to each other in order to coordinate their social movements. Crimson-fronted parakeets form flocks that can number in the hundreds, so keeping all of the individuals together is no easy feat. They accomplish this cohesion by chattering constantly, letting all other parakeets within earshot know that they are present. We would hear flocks of parakeets long before we saw them, even from a considerable distance away. When we did manage to get closer to a flock, we got to observe some amazing social behavior, including antics that resembled playing. That little one flipped upside down and stared right into our camera, seemingly just because it could. These beautiful birds are highly intelligent and can adapt to almost any tropical habitat, including areas of human settlement. This means that the crimson-fronted parakeet is doing quite well, as they are not as heavily threatened by habitat destruction as other rainforest species. When you think of the rainforest, what is the first bird that comes to mind? Got your answer? For many of you, it was probably the macaw. Macaws are large, brightly colored parrots that are true icons of the rainforests of Central and South America. Their jaw-dropping coloration is among the most spectacular in the avian world, and needless to say, even a glimpse of a macaw in the wild would have blown our minds. It's not just birders who are enamored with macaws, however. Poachers and black market pet owners can't get enough of the resplendent plumage of macaws, and so they are heavily trafficked in mostly illegal poaching operations. Almost all macaw species are becoming increasingly rare due to poaching and rampant habitat destruction. So imagine our surprise when we saw a flock of scarlet macaws, the largest and most famous species in Costa Rica, sitting right out in the open. As soon as we collected ourselves, we pulled out the camera and captured some footage that I am still surprised to have been able to film. Scarlet macaws are truly amazing birds. They can grow up to 81 centimeters long and live over 50 years in the wild. Some captive specimens have even exceeded 90 years of life, which is why macaws do not make good pets unless you want to take care of them conceivably for the rest of your life. They feed primarily on nuts, seeds, and fruits, using their powerful beaks to crush whatever they decide to eat. They can also use their beaks as something of a third limb, using it to climb and maneuver in the canopy. Seeing scarlet macaws in the wild was one of the most amazing wildlife encounters we've ever had, and sharing it with you has been an incredibly proud moment for us. Exploring Costa Rica was a true adventure, and the bird life of the country was one of the most unforgettable parts of spending time in the rainforest. Birds are a vital part of the tropical ecosystem. They form important links in the food web, and as we always say, the rainforest would not be the same without them. Rainforests around the world are gravely threatened by human activities, from agriculture and poaching to habitat destruction and pollution. The goal of these videos is to provide encouragement for people to protect the rainforest by showing them what it is that they will be saving. Now that you have met these incredible birds, will you join the fight for rainforest conservation? Stay tuned, because we have a video that covers ways that you can get involved coming out in the following months. Now, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it and tell us in the comments down below which species you think is the coolest and most beautiful. Both likes and comments really help our channel grow, so if you liked the video, tell us about it. We have lots more content coming soon, so be sure to subscribe to the Wildlife Brothers now, and we will see you in the next episode.